The Great Marshmallow Mishap, deep in the whispering woods, where the trees told secrets to the wind, and the river giggled over smooth stones. There lived a collection of creatures who were less wise and majestic and more charming and utterly ridiculous. There was Reginald, the badger, who was terribly proud of his digging skills but often misplaced his spectacles while they were still on his nose. Penelope, the owl, was known for her vast knowledge of everything from acorn growing to cloud watching. But she had a terrible habit of falling asleep mid-sentence. And then there was Bartholomew, the beaver, who was obsessed with building the perfect dam. A dam so perfect it would include a tiny, self-flushing toilet. One particularly balmy evening, Penelope, still a little sleepy from her afternoon nap, announced, "I've heard tell of a legendary field, a field of, marshmallows." Reginald, who had just spent an hour looking for his spectacles, only to find them tucked behind his ear, gasped, "Marshmallows? But that's impossible! They don't grow on trees!" "Nonsense!" hooted Penelope, fluttering her wings. "My great Aunt Mildred once saw a picture. Gigantic, fluffy, toasted marshmallows, as big as Bartholomew's backside." Bartholomew, who was currently trying to figure out how to install a chandelier in his dam, took offense. "My backside is perfectly proportioned, thank you very much. But marshmallows, you say?" The idea of a field of giant marshmallows was simply too delicious to resist. So, with Reginald leading and frequently tripping over his own feet, Penelope navigating and occasionally nodding off, and Bartholomew muttering about structural integrity, they set off. They trekked through the moonlit forest, past the snoring squirrels and the dreaming deer. Reginald sniffed the air excitedly, convinced he could smell toasted sugar. Penelope, with one eye open, pointed vaguely ahead. "I think, yes, just beyond that particularly lopsided oak." Finally, they emerged into a clearing. The moonlight bathed the field in a soft glow, revealing not marshmallows. Oh no! Instead, scattered across the grass were dozens of fluffy white, very confused sheep. The sheep, startled by the sudden appearance of a badger with misplaced spectacles, an owl trying to stay awake, and a beaver inspecting their wool for structural weaknesses, began to bleat. "Bah! Bah! What in the name of hay is going on?" cried one particularly fluffy ewe. Reginald blinked. "These aren't marshmallows. They're woolly clouds with legs." Penelope finally snapped, fully awake. She looked at the sheep, then at Reginald, then at Bartholomew, and burst into laughter. "Oh dear, my great Aunt Mildred's eyesight was never very good. She probably saw a picture of a sheep farm and thought it was a marshmallow field." Bartholomew, ever the pragmatist, walked up to a sheep and poked its fleece. "Surprisingly sturdy," narration for the dam, though. The sheep, understandably alarmed, scampered away, leaving the three friends standing in the moonlight, surrounded by the faint scent of grass and a lingering sense of marshmallow disappointment. Reginald sighed, then scratched behind his ear. "Well, at least I found my spectacles." Penelope yawned. "Time for bed, I suppose. Perhaps tomorrow we can look for a field of chocolate rivers." And as Bartholomew began to sketch designs for a sheep-wool-insulated dam in the dirt, the three friends ambled back through the whispering woods. A little tired, a little silly, and ready for dreams of fluffy, non-woolly treats. Marcel's Missing Banana Bonanza. In the heart of the great green jungle, where the vines swung like joyful dancers and the flowers bloomed in every color imaginable, lived a monkey named Marcel. Now, Marcel wasn't just any monkey. He was a monkey with a very important job. Every morning, just as the sun peeked over the tallest trees, Marcel was in charge of collecting the morning bananas for everyone in his troop. He was very good at it, too. He could spot the ripest bunch from a mile away and swing through the canopy with a speed that would make your head spin. But Marcel had one tiny little flaw. He loved bananas more than anything. Sometimes, just sometimes, a few of those morning bananas they'd mysteriously vanish before they ever made it to the troop's breakfast pile. One particularly sunny Tuesday, Marcel set off on his banana collection mission. "Today," he told himself, puffing out his chest, "not a single banana shall go missing. I am a professional banana gatherer." He swung from tree to tree, humming a little tune, and soon found the most magnificent bunch of ripe yellow bananas he had ever seen. There must have been 50 of them. "A bonanza," he chattered, carefully plucking the enormous bunch. He cradled them like precious jewels and began his journey back. But as he swung, the delicious scent of banana filled his nostrils. His tummy rumbled. Just one, he thought. No one would notice just one. He peeled a banana and popped it into his mouth. Delightful, he mumbled. Then another, and another. Soon his cheeks were puffed out like little furry balloons, and banana peels were fluttering down to the jungle floor like yellow confetti. He was so busy enjoying his private feast that he didn't notice a tiny striped caterpillar named Carlos slowly making his way along the vine beside him. Carlos had always admired Marcel's swinging skills. Marcel, finally looking down at the now much smaller bunch of bananas, gasped, "Oh no, where did they all go? They vanished! A banana thief! A fiend! A banana napper!" He looked around wildly, his eyes wide with mock horror. Carlos, who had witnessed the entire peel-flinging event, slowly raised one of his many tiny legs. "Actually, Marcel," he squeaked, his voice barely audible, "I believe the banana napper has very sticky fingers and a very full tummy." Marcel froze. He looked at the remaining 2 bananas, then at the innocent-looking caterpillar, then at the pile of peels beneath him. His face slowly turned a shade of reddish-brown, even for a monkey. Well, you see, Carlos," Marcel stammered, trying to hide the last 2 bananas behind his back. "It's a very complicated situation. These bananas, they sometimes leap into my mouth. It's a natural phenomenon." Carlos simply blinked his tiny caterpillar eyes. Just then, Marcel's troop leader, a wise old monkey named Baba, called from below, "Marcel, where are those bananas? We're starving up here." Marcel gulped. He looked at the 2 lonely bananas. He looked at the disapproving caterpillar. He knew he was caught. With a sheepish grin, Marcel slowly lowered himself down, holding out the 2 bananas. "Good news, everyone," he announced, trying to sound cheerful. "I have discovered the rarest bananas in the jungle. So rare, there are only 2 left. You'll have to share." Baba raised an eyebrow, spotting the banana peels scattered on the ground. "Rarest, you say? Or perhaps eatenest, Marcel?" The whole troop burst into laughter, and Marcel, blushing from his ears to his tail, had to admit his stomach was rumbling again. But this time, it was from embarrassment, not hunger. From that day on, Marcel learned a valuable lesson about sharing, and he made sure to count the bananas before he started his taste tests. Now, close your eyes and dream of bananas, but make sure they're not disappearing into your